Mental health is a life sentence without parole. Too many of us carry invisible wounds, trauma, loss, shame, and silence. I created the Crawl, Walk, Run podcast to break that silence, to give a voice to the voiceless. This is not just a show. It is a platform, a place where authors, veterans, artists, survivors, and everyday people can share their truth without fear of judgment. We crawl through the darkness. We walk toward healing. And we run into purpose. Together, we will build this community. This podcast is about resilience, about stories that matter, and about reminding the world that your voice could save someone's life. I'm your host, Steve-O, and this is Crawl, Walk, Run.
Crawl, Walk, Run podcast. I'm William A. Stevens, Jr., better known as Steve-O, retired Sergeant First Class, founder of 1821 Productions, and now the host of Crawl, Walk, Run podcast, where leadership, resilience, and real talk meet. I'm a 5-time award-winning author of veteran and a mental health advocate who's lived through the battles that come after service, the ones you can't see. Through my reflection series, The Mirror, Black Edition, The Broken Mirror, and No Filter, I've given a voice to the voiceless and shown that even in darkness, light still speaks. Now, through the Crawl, Walk, Run podcast, I'm taking that same message to the mic, connected with veteran creators and leaders who crawl through pain, walk through purpose, and learn to run towards something greater. This isn't just a show, it's a movement. I'm not here to impress people. I'm here to impact them, because I've lived it, the trauma, the transition, the fight to rebuild, and I'm still standing, still speaking, still giving a voice to those who can't. I'm Steve-O, host of the Crawl, Walk, Run podcast, voice of the voiceless, speaking head fire.
Johanna Vendel, award-winning author, certified medical massage therapist, motivational speaker, screenplay writer, songwriter, podcast host, Johanna Vendel, is an International Christian Book Awards winner, 2025, and a 2-time International Impact Book Awards winner, celebrated for her inspirational storytelling, compassionate spirit, and ability to transform pain into purpose. With 29 years of professional experience as a certified medical massage therapist and esthetician, Johanna has devoted her life to healing, both physically and emotionally, guiding others through their deepest challenges toward wholeness and renewal. Her work as an author, healer, and speaker bridges the worlds of faith, resilience, and transformation through her best-selling memoirs, Life, Think Again, Unseen Tears, Beneath the Mask, 2025 International Christian Book Awards winner, Navigating Through Losses and Grief, Think Again, Echoes of an Orphan's Heart, and Plotting the Murder of Sabrina. Johanna invites readers to discover strength through vulnerability and hope through hardship. Each story she pens carries a message of perseverance, faith, and the unbreakable human spirit. Beyond writing, Johanna is also a motivational speaker who captivates audiences with her heartfelt talks on grief recovery, resilience, personal growth, and rediscovering faith through adversity. Her powerful message, drawn from real-life experience and unshakable faith, continues to inspire individuals, communities, and organizations around the world. As the creator and host of the popular podcast Give Me Hope with Johanna, she provides a safe space for stories of healing and transformation, sharing voices of authors, survivors, and dreamers who have turned their pain into power. Johanna is also a screenplay writer, offering ghostwriting, film and book trailer creation, and cinematic storytelling services to clients looking to bring their stories to life on screen or stage. Her unique ability to blend emotional authenticity with visual artistry has made her a sought-after creative consultant in both the literary and entertainment worlds. With a foundation built on nearly 3 decades of therapeutic practice and human connection, Johanna continues to embody her life's mission: to heal, inspire, and give hope. Her work has been celebrated internationally, including recognition at the Hollywood Author Awards, where she was honored as a finalist for Author of the Year 2025. Johanna is available for speaking engagements, podcast interviews, and special events where her message of faith, courage, and renewal continues to change lives. To book Johanna Vendel for events or collaborations, please get in touch with her via email at givemehopewithjohanna@gmail.com or through her official platforms at Give Me Hope with Johanna.
Wow. I am Steve-O, and this is Crawl, Walk, Run podcast. And me and Johanna are just laughing out loud.
Walk, Run podcast. And me and Johanna are just laughing out loud.
Hello, and thank you for having me, William.
We're having some technical difficulties. But this is my amazing guest, Johanna. And I'm going to knock out these questions real quick because this is season 2, episode 1. Crawl, walk, run. Johanna. What's up, my friend?
Yes.
What's up, my friend?
I am very well, and no, I have no complaints. Hey, it's always nice to be on a podcast, to be able to tell your story, because sometimes our stories matters and people need to hear them.
So, I have known you for almost a year now.
Yes, time flies.
We're having a little delay.
I'm realizing that.
Johanna, what is Crawl, Walk, Run to you?
Well, knowing you, I would say that it's definitely a metaphor for people who really go through a lot of trauma and are down and out. And while they're down, they learn to crawl, they learn to walk, and they learn to run again. And I have followed you for a while and seen how much you are out there and giving people motivation for everything that you have been through as well. And yeah, it's an inspiration to see how people eventually get up and walk and run again. Just like my story.
So now we're going to get into your story. What is trauma and what is yours?
So my trauma is mostly depression, grief, because I have lost my entire family, and that is my direct family members, my mom, my dad, 3 sisters, and my brother already before I turned the age of 46 years old. So that is definitely trauma that has pulled me down, and it was difficult for me to get up there for a while. Grief can really put you into a depression mode, and when you lose so many people behind after each other, it can sometimes put a lot of trauma in your life.
So that being said,
So that being said,
when you have trauma, when you have trauma,
when you have trauma,
what are your do you have coping mechanisms
do you
that you
have
use?
coping mechanisms that you use?
Yes. So in the beginning, um, I was just crying a lot, and I felt like life just cannot go on this way. And there was a stage where I wanted to take my own life. And at that moment, I also went through a divorce. That is just after I lost my dad and my twin sister in 97. And then I got divorced in 2003, and it just felt like I wanted to take my own life. It was difficult to be a single mother at that time and on my own 2 feet while I am grieving for my twin sister and my dad. And I needed to learn how to cope through losing someone close to you like that. And yeah, like I said, I almost took my own life. But then 2006 came, and I was single now for a while. I became stronger in myself as a person, and I said my personal yes to Jesus. And after that, I have really became so much stronger in my faith, in my life, in everything I do. I became stronger. Then the years went on again, and I lost my mom through a shooting that took place in their house when two burglars came into their house, and that is in South Africa. That is where I am from. And that day, my mom actually survived just to say goodbye to her friend a month later, because while they were robbing the house, they tied him up and they shot my mom. And the trauma that he went through was just so much. After they left, he helped my mom and they got her to the hospital. And like I say, my mom survived, but Uncle Jess, he passed away a month later from all the stress and drama that went on in their lives. That time, my mom, she was not doing good because her stress levels also went sky high. She was scared to stay alone in her house and things like that. And she started to develop a stomach ulcer, and she passed away in 2012. In the meantime, I got remarried, and I felt like my husband is now there for me when I lost my mother, and it was better to cope that way, but still it wasn't really my coping mechanism that I would say helped me through. I was still learning how to now deal with more grief. And 2016, we decided to move here because just before that, I was in a mall and there was a person killed in front of me. Also, someone who just came into the mall and started shooting, and eventually I hear that it was actually his girlfriend that he shot. And then he killed himself, and that was all in front of me as well. Not long after that, my little girl was going to visit a friend, and the mother came to pick up my daughter for the play date. They went to church. After church, they were going to go for a swim. And then when they walked into their house also, there were 4 robbers. They tied them all up, and the trauma that my daughter has gone through on that day as well, it was just so much. And I said to my husband, it is till here and no more. Please try to find a job or a position where we can go to another country just to have a better life and to feel more safe. In the meantime, my husband, he works for a very, very good company, and they basically brought us to America through internal transfer of his work for a position that was available in America. And we moved to America in 2016. I was here for 2 weeks. We found a house to stay in, and we didn't have any furniture or anything yet because we had to start all from scratch. And that day, my little sister called me and said my older sister just passed away. I was devastated. I couldn't even go to her funeral. We just landed in America. I can't fly back now again. It's expensive, So I had to watch her funeral online, and already there, the loneliness of being in a strange, familiar country was just so difficult to cope with. And well, I just had to go on with life in a way. 2020 came, and my little sister was hijacked, also in South Africa, and the car rolled. She died as the car rolled, and it's just one of those things, you can't do anything about it. And with COVID, that same year, in October, 26th of October, my brother's lungs filled up from the COVID, and he passed away in October as well. And then that made me the last person standing from our family of 7. And at that time, now your question about coping mechanism comes in. I needed to get all of this out of me, and I needed to heal. And my father was a songwriter. Previously, I started to write a few songs here and a few songs there. And then eventually my writing started to become longer, and started to think, maybe I should write the story of my family members. That's a way of remembering them. So I wrote my first book, Life Think Again, which is my autobiography. I won an International Impact Book Award for this book, and this book was really, really hard to write. If I just think about everything that I had to go through, it was a tough book to write. But the whole story of my family members are in that book. This book made me a little bit stronger after I have written it. And I decided, how can I help people? And I wrote my next book, which is a self-help book, Navigating Through Losses and Grief, Think Again. This book is basically helping you through your different stages of grief, because at the time when I lost so many people after each other, I had no one to help me go through my grief time. And I wrote this book because sometimes we all need that little bit of help. This book is also it has different chapters for different needs. So it's not a book that you will read from the beginning to the end. This is more a book to look at the different subjects that I speak about, and through looking at the different subjects, you can see at what stage of grief you are, and read that part. Not long after that, I became a podcast host, and I started to interview people with similar trauma and losses, and I thought to myself, wow, I feel so much stronger by listening to other people's stories, and I must have been wearing a mask that has covered all my hurt for so long. I felt so much lighter, and I decided to write my third book, Unseen Tears Beneath the Mask, where I personally will be removing this mask that was dragging me down. It was an amazing feeling when I wrote this book, because this book is so deep when it comes to how many feelings we hide every time when we hurt. We hide behind a mask so that no one can see how much we really hurt. And after writing this book, I can tell you that now I will never put this mask back on my face, because it is difficult to carry that weight on your shoulders. I became happier, and I thought, well, let me write a little bit more about my personal stories in my life and transform that in fiction. And that is then when I wrote my very first book, Plotting the Murder of Sabrina, which is an amazing story about Sabrina getting hijacked and the entire story. So it's a little bit based on a true story, but then I ended the way I wanted to end it, because, with fiction, you can write things the way you think life is or how it should have ended. And so there's a little bit of truth in there, and then there's a little bit of fiction in there. After that, I have really now fallen in love with writing, and wrote this story, Echoes of an Orphan's Heart, which is about an orphan that was taken away from her mother when she was only 5 years old, and she transformed her life into a success story as well. And I am just so proud of myself that I can offer these books to people to read about my stories, because I can promise you today, if you read my books, especially my book Life, Think Again, and Unseen Tears Beneath the Mask, I can assure you, you're going to be motivated after that, because going through all the trauma that I have been through, and I have come out on this side, I believe that you can do exactly the same.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
I appreciate that. I'm sorry that you got very emotional, but that's what my podcast is about.
I'm sorry that you got very emotional, but That's what my podcast is about.
Yeah, we have to be true to ourselves, and when you speak about things like that, you do get emotional. But a lot of people hide their emotions and they don't really speak about it. And what does it do when you don't speak about it? It starts to eat you up from inside, It starts to hurt you even more. So it is good to speak about it. And if you need to go to a psychiatrist for some help or things like that, you need to do what you need to do, because if you do have a family, sometimes they can like have to live with you through all of what you're going through, and your emotions can sometimes take over, and you can treat your family different if you don't learn or don't, how can I say, if you don't go for help or get help or do something to help yourself to get better. My coping mechanism is definitely my writing. I now am busy with a screenplay of my life story where it is going to be such an emotional story. And if this turns into a movie one day, it will be a heartfelt movie, because the way I'm writing it is I'm really putting a lot of my personal emotion into this writing. Because, yeah, this is life, eh? Life goes on. Tomorrow is not promised. So we have to live fully for today. Yesterday we cannot get back, so crying about it is not going to make it better. It does help to cry sometimes, because when you cry, life can definitely go on again, and feel better again. But life is tough. Life is really tough, and I am really, really grateful to my writing that I can give this to the world and maybe help someone out there, because we all need it sometimes, and sometimes we are very lonely. Life can be lonely when you are grieving, because it's not everyone that would want to sit and listen to you grieving. I have lost a lot of friends through my grief, and they just stopped inviting me to girl days and girls' day out or nights out and things like that. And now it's been about 2 years that I've just been grinding into my books and writing my stories. And in this last 2 years, I made a lot of new friends. Let me tell you that a lot of people that is in the author industry now, and at the International Impact Book Award, I have met so many people with similar stories. And then you realize that life is not so bad, because you are not the only one going through this. And every time when I hear someone else's story on my podcast, it just makes me so much stronger. It is just amazing to hear other people's stories, and the way me. When I get emotional like this, and then you must know that it really, really is helping me to listen to other people's stories. I enjoy what I do. I really enjoy speaking to people, because it is what we all need. We all need to be vulnerable. And I think life is good. I want to grow old, even if I have to do it without my my family. God has blessed me with 4 children, a good husband. I have a good life. I can't complain.
So do you have anything else say to our audience?
Do you have anything else say to our audience?
All I can say is be strong. Be strong in yourself. Get up every morning and be the best you. Because when you can do that, then you know that you have lived a good life. If God must take your life today, have you done what you needed to do? Do you feel accomplished? Do you feel that you have done something good to someone else or for someone else? If not, you have to rethink what you do in the morning, and how you speak to people, how you treat people, because you never know when you meet someone who is broken inside and then you are rude with them, and you never know who you meet. So all I can say is get up every morning and try to be the best you.
Well, we're a little over our time. But you are my first guest, and you
are my first.
And I have terrible internet. And
we
you
all
edited
start somewhere.
my new book, No Filter. Thank you very much.
Yes, I edited your book.
Thank you very much.
You are very welcome. I believe that you got a 5-star for your literary editing and everything there, so I must have done a good job.
Not my accomplishments right now on this show.
You are very
Your
welcome.
accomplishments.
And if there's
Not
anyone,
my accomplishments right now on this show. Your accomplishments.
if there is anyone out there that needs my service, you can ring my bell.
Ding-a-ling.
Ding-a-ling.
That being said, thank you, Johanna.
You are very welcome, William, and thank you so much for me being your first person on your new podcast. And I pray that you will do well, because I know that you also touch many different people's hearts. So well done on everything that you also do, and thank you for having me.
Hopefully everybody can hear me. I'm sorry. Technical difficulties living in a studio apartment with ghetto internet. Love, peace, and joy. I'm the voice. 1821 Productions. Steve-O. I'm out of here.
Crawl, walk, run has been brought to you by 1821 Productions, voice of the voiceless. If you have a story, please reach out. We are the voice of the unheard. Till next time. Crawl, walk, run has been brought to you by 1821 Productions, voice of the voiceless. If you have a story, please reach out. We are the voice of the unheard. Till next time.